I linked up with my man Jordo at his co-living space in Belén, where he hosted a weekly lunch meetup. We shared some classic Colombian ajiaco soup with the crew, took a walk in the park, and then caught up for our podcast. Let's do it.
Ready.
All right, Jordo, thanks for joining me, man.
Thanks for me having you here.
Yeah.
Welcome to my house.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me to your house to lunch and then doing the podcast.
Un placer.
I appreciate it. So give me a little bit of your background. I've known you a little bit from the Run Club. I know you got a bunch of projects going on. You got a lot of cool stuff. I seen your website. You got a lot of different things going on. You do digital marketing. Give me a little bit of your background, like where you're from.
Yeah, from the Bay Area in California originally. When I went to university, I moved to Northern California further up. Then I went to Massachusetts, Portland, Oregon. And then in about 2018, I started traveling and started getting around to Latin America. I lived in Mexico for 4 years. And then I came to Medellin. And I've been kind of back and forth between Mexico and Medellin for 6 years at this point. And this is mi hogar. This is my home now.
Nice.
As you can see, having some reasons to stay and reasons to be very planted here, whether it be the communities that I love to be a part of, or this house, or all the different things.
Yeah. All right. So cool, man. I didn't know about Massachusetts. Did we talk about that?
We might have brought it up a bit, but my dad's family's from Massachusetts area, and then
Which part?
Billerica and Wilmington.
Okay.
And then when I got out of university, my first job was in corporate, and I moved out there for a corporate job. Did that for like 4 years, and then from there jumped into entrepreneurship, self-employment, small companies, the marketing services oriented companies, and had a string of different like freelancing jobs, writing. I was a closer for a dating coach at one point.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, there's like lots of little things that became the pathway or the transition point to just being fully remote and being able to live wherever, and it's been a fun path.
Okay, and you were sharing while we were having lunch here that you're going to be more focusing on wellness.
Yeah, I mean, I've already been quite focused on wellness in my own life as far as my personal development, as far as what I want to be creating in my own life. We've got an ice bath right behind here. We got a sauna right there. If you look at the way the house was constructed, which is a co-living that I built, everything is around performance, wellness, biohacking, being intentional about how we're showing up in day-to-day life here and making it very easy environmentally. And I run another marketing agency, and recently I just been feeling like we've been serving completely different clients in this space than we do in the communities that we do locally here in Medellin, whether it's the Run Club or Sweat and Chill or the coffee party concepts that we do. And I just wanted everything to be going in one direction. I want to be talking to the same types of people every day. I want to be solving similar issues. And what I've found through the community work that we're doing is that we're typically getting sponsors that are in the wellness side that want exposure to our audience. And I've realized that there's a second arm there of like marketing services for these types of companies. And those are really the types of companies, whether they be direct-to-consumer products, that are wellness products, whether it be some type of powder or wearable or whatever. There's wellness tech, so whether it's apps that are being created that are AI driven or are, it's all interesting to me, the innovation of where health and wellness is going. And I want to be at the forefront of that. I also see hospitality, wellness in hospitality is becoming a really big sector. So the way that I'm looking at it now is how do I just talk to the same types of people and have multiple solutions for them? And on the top layer, it's a podcast and a conversation to learn more about like how they're building their business, because that helps me personally understand the challenges of that market, as well as be able to put them to an audience. And then it's marketing services. So whether that be helping them with their ads or their thought leader content on LinkedIn or YouTube. And then there's in-person activations at our actual events. So being able to like focus on one vertical, one set, one group, one industry, I think will be really helpful for me, just in my personal life. But I do have different business partners in these businesses. That's where it gets kind of interesting, is that this transition is forcing me to look a lot at, the nuances and the details of how we're going to pull off.
Yeah, it sounds like you do like a lot of different stuff, and it's cool.
It sounds like you do a lot of different stuff.
I get my hands in a couple different things. How do you keep it all organized?
Good teams,
Uh-huh.
great teams, like great people. Yeah, I mean that's the secret. Is you have to understand if you're gonna, at least for me, when I'm doing all these different things, I can't do them alone. And so I have to have players, people that are really good at what they do in their role, to be able to delegate, to be able to give them things to do, to trust them that those things are going to be done. And without the people involved in the business, none of it matters. Like being a manager, being someone who's a leader of people, to me is a really important part of my life. And developing people, like helping them understand their own form of leadership, helping them grow in the skill areas that they want to. And AI, dude, AI is,
Yeah.
I've been a practitioner since, for years now, and kind of since the first wave of ChatGPT came out and all that stuff, I was
Very
making
cool.
videos on it, and early adoption, like trying to figure out how it applies to my life. I'm part of different AI masterminds, and I'm constantly trying to figure out how it applies to our businesses.
Oh, very cool.
And make automations around that, and figure out, again, like I think the future of the wellness space, especially for a lot of these companies, is going to be AI-driven content that actually sounds like it's human, or it looks like it's human, whether it's video, whether it's text. And we're at the forefront of that, I believe, in building out systems that can help those types of companies.
Yeah, we just had a workshop last night in the gallery called LaFond Social, the networking lab. And the specialist was a developer who had been working for, I think, almost 30 years developing stuff. But now he's saying, like, look, we're building websites, no code necessary. These are the tools that you can use. This is how you do it. It's how you launch it. It's how you can kind of make the production, and how you can, guide AI to use it to accomplish things that you need, right?
Yeah.
Because it's all about doing like commands and protocols, and like how do you get it to do what you want it to do, right?
Yeah, at this stage, it's still very much a co-pilot. There's obviously agents that you can create that'll run autonomously, but I think a lot of those are experiencing different privacy issues and security issues, and running the wrong functions at the wrong time. So I tend to use more co-pilots and try to create SOPs and standard things that my team and myself are using. Prompts, folders, projects, stuff like that.
Very cool. And what brought you to Medellin?
Yeah, I mean, the first time that I came to Medellin was in 2019, and I came with a travel group. So I was with a group called Remote Year, which has since gone out of business, but essentially it was a digital nomad in a box. So basically you pay this company one lump sum a month, and they will take care of all of your travel arrangements. You'll be traveling with a group of people. They have your co-working space figured out, your apartment, activities, different things like that. So when I first came, it was with one of those groups, and I was with 50 people that I didn't know before. And it was a super fun experience. And I got a taste of Medellin. I got here the first time, and I remember landing and being really scared of getting scoped. So I remember, and it was also like this weird time period where it was like right before COVID. And so we could have never imagined what would have happened. But I felt like I was here like right before it got temporarily like really bad for a while here. And I didn't have to live that here. I went to Mexico. But I came for 1 month. I ended up leaving the group to stay here for another 2 months. I just really loved the vibe. I at one point had met a girl here that I was dating who didn't speak any English. I didn't speak any Spanish. And that was how I learned Spanish. So the dating was very easy for me to utilize to learn the language, which I felt was very important if I was going to live here long term or live in Latin America long term. It was already decided that I'd be either here or Mexico. And that was beautiful. I love the sports culture here, like the ciclovia on Sundays, the park that we're right next to. It's like there's basketball games every day. There's people playing. The family orientation here is something I aspire to, and I wish that the United States was like that. The way people rest here and focus is not on work. It's about let's have fun and let's enjoy our lives. It's really changed the way that I look at things. I'm certainly still very business oriented, but I find that my patience level is a lot higher. My ability to relate and connect and like sit with people and like be slower in how I approach things. And so I love those like little nuanced things that you learn when you're in a different culture, and rather than try to change the culture, you find ways to assimilate and find ways to like really respect and value and honor like how beautiful the country is.
Very cool, man.
I'll have to get her up here for some of the interview. Come here, baby.
This is Oriana.
Oriana.
So you've had her for how long?
It's like second week.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a big responsibility having a pet like that.
It is. I've had a few dogs before, so I've kind of understood what it's going to take to have a dog, and I felt like I was at a place in my life where I was ready. I've got a lot of support here. We've got 4 guys in the house. We've got a manager that comes to the house, and we'll take her on walks and hang out with her. The amount of people locally, I mean, it's very dog-friendly culture too. It's one thing I love about it is it's hard to go a few blocks without seeing a pet store or, people with dogs, and it's just very normalized in the culture. So I could go with her in any cafe, and that's the part I wanted, was a dog that was small enough that I could travel with, and or is not going to be a burden in a restaurant or wherever I'm taking her. And she's just chills. She's just super chill. So
yeah. I noticed you mentioned that like you were learning a lot about being Medellin, and like your level of patience has changed and stuff like that. And I noticed that like, I've been making a bunch of different videos for my YouTube channel, and like usually my biggest complaints are also like the things that I like the most about Medellin.
Yeah.
I'm like, sometimes the things here are like super slow or stuff like that. But I'm also like, the stores are family owned, and the people talk to you. So it's like, go to like a bank and get rapid service or like these types of things. But in exchange for that, you get to talk to people, and you get to have like relationships with people who are like not in a rush all the time to like just get you out of their face so they can get on with the next thing.
And I think there's an equal and opposite everything, right? So what someone could view as a negative of Medellin could also be viewed as a positive in many ways. And that's indicative of Latin culture. I think if you're from the US or Canada or even some parts of Europe, maybe, but you come to Latin America, you have to develop an understanding of the cultural feeling of patience, and that it's not a big deal, and chill, right? There's not this huge tug and pull of like rushing to get things done, and that requires a change in mindset for sure if you want to be here, unless you want to try to change an entire country. But I don't imagine
I've tried. It doesn't work.
Yeah, it's not going to work. So good luck.
Yeah, I just get bad comments on my YouTube videos.
Great, I can look forward to those.
Yeah, exactly. But I love that. I mean, I want to hear a little bit of the backstory, how you got involved in the Run Club.
Yeah.
And some of the other organizations that are kind of offsets of that group.
Yeah, I was actually a couple months into the Run Club being created by the founder, who's Lice, who you know. Which I made a video about this as well. It's on my channel in case it's relevant to put in this. But I was going just as an attendee to this Run Club, and I was like, oh, this is fun, like something to do on a Sunday morning. I don't drink alcohol, so I'm usually not out late on any specific night. And I love to work out, I love to run. And I was like, this is perfect, I get to meet people, all that sort of stuff. So I go there, and I started going consistently, where I'd go every week. And I started noticing just like small gaps, like gaps where the experience could have been better, gaps where logistics could have been a little bit better. And not to the fault of the founder, he's just doing it alone. So I started offering myself up. I was like, hey man, like what do you need help with? And I'd notice, okay, the bracelets that they use, I need someone to hand those out. I'll hand those out. I noticed, oh, it'd be cool if you had music here. I'll bring some music. Oh, I'd noticed if, in the end point we had a sign or a flag. And so I just started picking up things as I went along, and earning his trust over the course of 6 to 8 months that I was consistent, I was serious. And I kind of proposed to him, I was like, hey man, I really love what you're doing. I'm really aligned to the mission, to the vision. I don't need this to be a money thing for me, but I want to be involved. I want to be very involved. And I just kind of like left that option up to him. And as time went on, we started talking about it more seriously. And then eventually came to a point where, we discussed an operating agreement, put together an equity position for me in the business because I'd been showing up for so long and providing so much value. It was kind of a no-brainer for him. And then we have a third partner as well, who's Isabella from Parceros. Okay. So she's also a partner in the business. So it's 3 of us. Okay. And we have very different skill sets. I'm more structured operations, logistics kind of background. He's more vision, aesthetics, branding, marketing. And then she's more of like experience of the events locally, and she has all the relationships. And she's also Colombian. So when we were first doing this, I was starting to take over some of the communication with some of the local restaurants and things. And it was hard because I speak Spanish, but there's layers of the conversation that I wasn't getting to There's a cultural nuance of like how to approach the conversations where I was a little too direct. And that's where I learned some of my communication lessons about being in Medellin. But having her has taken all that alleviated a lot of that, where she can be kind of the face for the local side of sponsors and different things. I can be behind the scenes with our team and make sure our team is locked in for the volunteers and all the different logistics. And then Lice is kind of more of the branding, marketing piece, sales, making sure on the front end the brand is really living up to the vision that he had.
Very cool. And so what is I've noticed that the social media and the group has grown pretty like quickly.
Yeah.
And so can you talk a little bit? I know Lice has a lot of the vision stuff, but like where's the Run Club going?
Yeah, I mean, we're always talking about the vision. I talk to him 3-4 times a week, okay. So we're in lockstep of where we're going, what we're trying to do. And you make a good point about the content and social media growing, and I want to speak to one thing on that is over time what I realized and what we've realized is that we're not like a wellness community, we're not a social fitness community, we're a content company.
Yeah.
And if you start to look at the lens of media and content, and you're a media guy, you understand, you're a production guy. If you look at it through that lens, all of the value is derived from the content, meaning someone who sees it online is going to feel compelled to go because they saw content of it.
Yep.
People come back because we send out pictures every single week and they might be in the pictures and that's exciting for them. So there's these like subconscious ways and conscious ways that we can create the FOMO if you're not there, and then also the excitement if you are there. And then we also keep it free. So the Run Club is free. It's easy to join. There's as many locals there, if not more locals than foreigners. It's a great mix of people. And that's what I am really proud of, is that we brought something to Medellin that is very inclusive in that way. And the vision really is to get brands involved to provide more value to the members. Meaning we've had some times where brands have come out and done like a free coffee in the mornings for people, or amino acids or different things. And I think the long-term vision to make it more sustainable for us is always monetization on brand side to bring relevant products and services to our audience that fit within the wellness space, that fit within what we're doing, and give people free stuff. Because we want our audience to always be the beneficiary of that. So that's like the vision in the short term is continue to create that hype around the innovation of what we're doing. So themed runs and just fun stuff, like people that they're like, oh man, I'm really excited to go in deepening the community. We have merch now too. So merch has been a big play for us of like trying to get that out the door this past year. But it's just been hard to find the right materials, find the right printing. I think
Trust me, I've been there.
So that's been, those are all part of the vision. And I think long term, we just want to be the biggest wellness community in Latin America, in different ways. So.
Yeah, I've seen it. I think it's, I've been here in Medellin for 8 years. So I've seen a bit of the change of people coming, and I guess more people coming internationally. It's becoming more of an international city. I say it changes and it doesn't, because a lot of people say, oh, it's changing so much. Yeah, it's changing. We're in Laureles and Belén and Poblado, but Medellin is mostly comunas. So those comunas haven't changed that much. I've been to a lot of the comunas. I'm making a documentary about legends in Medellin, all the comunas. Those places mostly stay the same. But I think to the people who are coming, they're saying, okay, the community is growing. The community of people who are coming from different places, digital nomads, all that stuff. It's slowly growing in Medellin. And one thing that I noticed is the wellness community is growing, which I've noticed a lot. And I think that's a cool thing. It's one of the things that drew me to Medellin. Is one of the things I make a lot of my videos about. It's because I don't drink or do drugs. I have 15 years sober since June 13th, 2010. Yeah, thank you.
I'm 7 this month.
Okay. And so it's one of the things people said, oh, you're going to Colombia, and it's kind of
association is the party, and the drugs.
But same thing with you. I like going to Tres Cruces, Ciclavia, Run Club. That's a lot of videos I make. You don't have to party to love Medellin. You can be here, you can do ice baths, you can have the yoga community, you can have all these things and still live in this tropical place that's beautiful and has this very open social community. But you kind of still have these benefits of all this other stuff that you'd have in Western culture. That's yoga, and we're gonna see juice bars popping up soon and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
I mean, you bring up a good point, which is I think also part of the vision is to make Medellin a destination for wellness, and making that part of the story of Medellin. is that there are a lot of communities here that have health conscious people in it, and there are new businesses and services and things available for locals to be able to create for people that come here for that kind of thing as well. And it's beautiful. I have a few local friends who we met one of them earlier today, they're doing like a big yoga brunch thing tomorrow.
I saw publicity, yeah.
And that's like popping up everywhere, where people who are independent, you know, there's someone who wants to be self-employed and create their own little wellness business, whether they're doing yoga, whether they're doing breath work, whether they're doing whatever, and they realize they can market to some of these foreigners who are coming here and want to have a good way of life and want to offer those wellness spaces for them. And that's the beauty that I'm seeing too, is that there's an abundance and there's just so many events going on and so many people doing amazing things. That's like a big part of the patience. Like, we moved into this place and we were there for 2 weeks, and then they started construction for 7 months next door. They tore down the house.
Right.
Airplanes flying over, guys outside yelling aguacate como 6-7 times a day. So I think goes back to like the patience piece, and like the world's not all about me. I've had to go through a few mindset shifts around that living here, which has been funny, because it's like that anywhere. I mean, there's going to be stuff anywhere you go that's going to cause you to, I don't know, have some sort of reaction. But it's interesting that the small things, like the voice of one of the avocado guys is like so intense that for whatever reason, only him is the one that like bothers me a bit. And I'm like, oh, and then I have to realize, okay, like he's just selling avocados. It's not a big deal.
There's a guy who comes by my house and has been coming there. I've been there a long time, and he sells flowers, but he yells.
Yeah.
He's like, flores. He yells, flores. Like he's like, I'm like, he sounds like he's angry.
Yeah.
But I'm like, bro, you're selling flowers. Maybe say it a little bit more like flores.
Suave.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you want to sell something pretty, you know what I mean? But then I actually got the chance to meet him, and you know, the guy's been coming down from Santa Elena for 40 years yelling about flowers, so it's just his voice, man.
That's the life, yeah.
So I'm like, oh, respect, man. It's not like he's been there for 40 years. I've been a couple of years. I'm like, he's the OG. Yeah, I'm like, I'm up in his, you know.
You're up in his turf, though.
Yeah. So he's been carrying a cart for 4 years. So yeah, anyways, I just want to wrap it up. I just want to say, yeah, it's cool. And I think it's also interesting, like, I think it's cool that it's becoming an international city, Medellin, and that, like, you know, foreigners and different people are starting things like run clubs or different things. And I feel like a lot of the people here are opened up to international culture, are really like open to these types of events and stuff like that, and being more mixed with foreigners and stuff, like, you know. And I think it's also good that, you know, there's this culture, there's a part of the culture of Medellin that I don't like, that's like, there's a lot of, you know, Americans, people come here and they party and they just destroy the city and stuff like that. But I think, you know, the people who are like, you know, you guys who are doing cool stuff, bringing an event, you know, it's a health event, and it's bringing something cool to the city. So I always say in my videos as well, I was like, if you want to come here and be a dumbass, just stay at home. But if you want to come and bring something to the community and like contribute, and then, you know, it also, I feel like it helps with that whole stereotype that's happening, which is part of the Medellin that I don't like, is that stereotype. And
but it exists for a reason, because there are, you know, people from where we're from that come here and abuse things.
Right.
And I mean, I think the only thing you can do is just model what you want to see here, and try to be, as much as you can, a good example of respect.
Right.
And we're here as guests. There's no mistake.
Exactly.
I'm a guest here. I'm not a Paisa. I'm not Colombian either. And there's a level of like humility that I want to bring around that, to understand that there is an impact for me being here too. There's a financial impact for me being here. There's a societal impact for me being here. And when we come in large groups, there is a big impact. So how is it that we can just be mindful, have awareness of that, and then also like contribute locally?
Right.
We do the Sembradores trip at least once a month too.
What is it?
Sembradores de la Tres. It's an organization that I'd love to shout out here, because they do a lot of great work. It's an organization that helps 400 plus children in the Comuna 13 area. And they have like a big cancha for football, where it used to be a garbage dump, and there was one woman named Jenny who came there and basically cleaned it up. She's from the comuna, and she had a really difficult life, and she's made a space and a home for a lot of these kids who have maybe one parent household or living with an aunt or an uncle or a grandparent or whatever their situation is. They come there for refuge of being able to play football, and we've developed some programming around there to help educate the kids with English. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, there's a group that goes there, and then we go once a month for like a big trip where we do yoga, we do breath work, we make like little piggy banks, we do a Shark Tank competition where they come up with business ideas.
I like it.
And I think that's one of the things I'm probably most proud of, like being here, of being able to contribute to, is an organization like that. So those are the places that I'd love, people that come from outside to like be involved in. Is obviously there's the health and wellness stuff, which is awesome, but also like you get to go and visit kids and like hang out with kids who can grasp onto a vision that they may have not seen before, just because of your presence and your attentiveness to them and your consistency.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, and just for something that we said is like, there's the part of, cultural stuff or things that we don't like to see. And like a lot of people, you can complain about the stuff that you don't like in culture you don't see, or you could be a part of the change that does something cool, right? So if you could provide the links, we can put it down in the video and we can include that. And thanks for being with me. And I think it's really cool what you guys do with the Run Club. I think there's a lot of, I think it's great that space is growing. I think you all are, pioneers in that, because there's a lot of people. I've seen other stuff popping up. Let's chill. There's all kinds of other stuff that's happening in this space that is starting to grow. And I think a lot of people are looking at you guys and go, oh, look, they're doing it right. How are they doing it?
Yeah. And there's space for everybody. And I think ultimately the market decides like if something's viable or not. And then obviously there's a lot of mistakes we've made from the beginning. And so there's probably some folks that are doing some of those things that are going to make similar mistakes or go through it, and it's all part of the journey. So hopefully they can stay consistent with it, whoever it is, and like keep making things happen. Because the more events like that pop up, I think the more the culture changes, the more the world changes, and that's what I'm seeing on the macro of macro visions. The world is changing with consciousness, with awareness, with wellness. We may be going in an AI direction too, with robots and not humanness, not humanity. But on the other end, I think it's equal and opposite, right? Once we go really far this way, humans begin to want humanity again, and that's what I'm seeing, is that people want to be in person. They want to have an experience. They want to like get off the screen for a bit and hang out. All
right, I appreciate you inviting me to your home and having me. We're gonna do the workout competition in the ice bath now, right?
Let's see about that, yeah.
Hey man, I really appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
All right. My name is Rob LaFond, an audiovisual producer based out of Medellín, Colombia. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, and stay tuned for more epic adventures. See you in the next one.